Y'all know what I realized, and I was just sitting here thinking, negativity and positivity, good and evil, God, the devil, all this stuff is hand in hand. I know it may not make sense to some people, but how will we know who the devil is if we didn't know who God is, or vice versa? Vice versa, good and evil. How will we know? It's like having a vehicle with a negative side and a positive side on your battery. They both work hand in hand. The negative and positive is needed for that vehicle to run. So we need the negative and the positive. The only thing is, when we look at it in real life, as in people, you can tell a person by their actions, their fruit of good and evil, their thoughts, when they're acting out their thoughts. So when we look at people and you look at a person and you say, okay, this person has some evil ways. This person has some good ways. How do you know that? You had to have seen it from somewhere. You've had to have learned that from somewhere. Because had you not learned that, you wouldn't know the difference between good and evil. I mean, you would probably have a sense, but you wouldn't know if it was good or if it was evil. You wouldn't know. It's some people in this world that have evil ways and they feel like that's the way to go. That this is how life is or how they should be. And you have some people who have good or positive ways and they feel like, hey, that's how we should be living our life. But at the end of the day, like, as people, we shouldn't judge the actual person on them being good or evil. We can judge their actions. We can judge the actions of these people, whether their actions are good or whether they are bad. We can judge that. But we also have to realize that they go hand in hand. People that have evil ways, sometimes the people who have positive or good ways, they look down upon people who have evil ways. Like they can't be redeemed. You have people who do the worst of the worst. And they learn from their actions, they learn from their mistakes, and they overcome it. But you have some people who don't want them to live it down. And they just want to put them in a box. Like they can't become better. Or like they can't change. Everybody can change. Everybody can change. But what makes that person who's positive and who has good ways different from this other person who has evil or negative ways, if they only see them for what they did, if they don't allow them room to grow, or if they only hold them to what they know of them based on their actions, what makes them different? To me, it don't make too much of a difference. Because if you can't give grace to somebody who's done things and you don't allow them room to grow, then what makes you different? Because we all have done things to hurt somebody. We all have done things that made somebody feel uncomfortable. It may have been good in your eyes, but it could have been evil in somebody else's eyes. So I just made this video to say that at the end of the day, there's good and there's evil, there's positive, there's negativity, but they both work hand in hand. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube, subscribe, hit the like button, click that bell, and set it to all so it'll inform you every time I upload a video. And peace to everybody, and y'all have a blessed day.